So I think putting it here will allow us to, like, the closet will be like this essentially, from this stud instead of this one. Hey, Bo. Header and then footer. So the top two will be the header and then the bottom one will be the footer. And that way when we lay out these studs on like where they go on the lines here, we'll just put them right on the marks. And we don't have to do any measuring afterwards.
Look at that fine craftsmanship. Our first closet, baby.
I've got a lot of squaring up to do, but it's perfect. We're going to focus mostly here in the driveway. So right here is where we'll start. This, we don't need sand. It's just the driveway section mostly. Trying to get it a little straighter, so feeding it through the other pipe will be easier. I'm planning on putting this one through the 1.5-inch pipe, and then put the 1.5-inch pipe through the 4-inch pipe. I don't know. We'll see. Just like that. We want that to dry a little bit before we snake the cable through. It's just bent. There we go. Water line's killing it. I wish we would have done this closer to the driveway. Manage this joint here, like halfway up. Just like leave it resting on your toe or something maybe. I just need a little bit lifted off the ground. Right there. Especially because the bed is going here, we don't want it like underneath the bed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So probably higher is better. Also, got these holes drilled for the wire to go through, and I'd rather keep those and just did.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
2 foot from the bottom of the subfloor there. So we want to go just over that for the bottom of the windowsill, maybe 6 inches.
Sounds like a plan.
So that would be like the bottom of the window. Go up.
Would that be the bottom of the window or the stud?
The rough end, the rough framing,
Okay.
which is 3 feet exactly for this guy. 3 feet by 3 feet. So I got to make like 3 feet and a quarter by 3 feet and a quarter, you know, just like all the way around.
Yeah.
And then shim it into place, just this last little bit. Maybe I'll even do like 3 1/8, just to make it like a tighter margin of error for like the silicone and stuff. Because once we put it in place, we'll put a bead of silicone around the whole sill, and then these little holes here will screw in. But we're gonna save that until we finish everything else, because we'll like cut this out.
And then insulate around it, and then do the plastic wrap.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is we'll just leave this empty raw wood right here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll insulate underneath the window, where the window is going to be. We'll insulate this stud, all these bays here, and then when we're ready to put the windows in, then we'll cut out the plywood. But we will have left that uninsulated, but framed in for the window rough.
Okay.
So we'll have this one and then this window here. But we'll insulate around everything else. And if that's our goal, to get this room insulated, I think that the framing of each window is pretty important. And then we'll get the closet here. Look how good of a good job you did. Look at that. It's awesome.
It's not done. I'm hoping we can use the leftover bits to do like one pane, but I gotta finish a few of these special cuts. Some of them have like hard patches in them.
Yeah.
Like this one had a lot, which is why it looks so pristine. But this one, it's like all soft and falling apart.
Well, as I understand it, in kind of layman's terms, it's like superheated rock or minerals, and they like spin it out and then weave it into this, these bats, kind of like fiberglass, but it's a different substrate they use to extrude this. And so like the more it's compacted, even in here, that like loses some insulation value. So we'll put a couple more layers in. So that's where the scraps might come in handy.
Yeah, I'm trying to save the nice ones and put the rest in the trash.
And these outer walls here, We want that good stuff. And then we'll have the safe and sound here for sound on this whole wall. So I think while you're doing that, my love, I'm going to get the jack studs and cripple studs cut for this window here.
Okay.
And
then by the
kind
end
of
of the day, we
experiment.
could have the whole thing insulated if we wanted.
I think we can make that happen. The wires are already out, and for whatever reason, that was the most like, I was overthinking that. That was pretty simple. And we'll just reuse this circuit a little bit closer in, and it's all good. Gonna go right here, like that. Gonna cut these two out, and then put the window in between. Put outside cover on it.
And what's that called?
Like the sheet metal. The house wrap first, and then the sheet metal on top of that. It's because it was a seam, that's why. That's why that was crackling more. Well, okay. I'll tap these back out. Yeah. That heat will like break the metal. For whatever reason, this also brings up hurricane straps. Something I think we should invest in,
I agree.
like for the bottom of the building. Saw was going. I don't know how I fixed that. But, I mean, overall, that's level. These two are the ones that are important. I'll put another one in there. Like another cripple right there. I need to pull it out a little bit here. Get it flush. Or, I'm putting that one back further.
Okay, so this is what the bedroom looks like now. You can probably hear even how much more muffled it is in here. Like my footsteps are not nearly as loud. We have done a lot of trial and error in this room, which is another reason why we didn't film it. Because it was, learning to work with Rockwell was definitely something. It's not very consistent in texture, so the bats have areas where they're thinner than others, and that means that they just kind of fall apart as you're like carrying them and such. So had to learn to be careful. By the time we got to the ceiling, we were better, and we watched a few videos. I'll have to link the person that my partner introduced me to. She does a lot of DIY right now. She's like redoing the shed, and watching those videos is what gave us the idea to put the plastic on while. But even, especially doing this area, like we were getting so frustrated trying to get this done, and finally we figured out like just staple it in as you go instead of trying to staple the plastic and then slide it through. But with the foam like inserts underneath to create that air circulation, it took a lot of effort. That, and we had to add furring strips so that these bays would be big enough to hold the insulation. It was just a lot of work that you will see from beginning to end out here, because we need to do all of this. All of the lighting is done. So as you can see, we've got electricity. I've got a little space heater going in here. We also have this like oil radiator thing that John Taylor picked up. But that's more like after we get the pets in here. And we might even be getting a wood stove. So today, what I'm going to do, well, we decided to go ahead and fill in this wall. So we need one more bat of insulation to finish that. But I'm gonna get the floor dimensions so we can price out the flooring and get that done first. And work on the plastic covering. I think I've been turning over in my mind how I'm gonna do this. And I think I figured it out, but I need to get the tripod and get the camera set up so I can stop talking and start showing you how I'm gonna do this. Aren't the windows so nice? It's so great to have natural lighting. So as you can see, I've been using this clamp to kind of secure the plastic wrap in certain areas, and then I'm going through and I'm smoothing it out by each bay and stapling it. So far, it's going pretty well. We're gonna have to cut out spots for the outlets and the windows, and we'll tape around them to make it sealed tight, and then go down the stripes where the staples are as well and cover those, because in certain spots I did pull them up to smooth it out and such, so we want to make sure every single one of those holes and tears is covered. I'll probably go through with a Sharpie later and mark them. But yeah, I made it to that corner, stapled it all the way, and now I'm gonna focus on this wall. I'm probably gonna stop when I get to that beam because we also have this wire that runs through, so I'll have to figure out what to do with that. But I cut enough where it should be enough to stretch across, and then we'll do another panel on this wall all the way across, and then another one to do this weird area of the ceiling. I figured like its own panel to navigate these weird areas.